Hello and welcome to CNBC TV18. This is our special coverage of the Phase 5 Lok Sabha elections. I'm Archana Salanki. Let's get started with the big headline. In the fifth and final phase of voting in Maharashtra, the city of Mumbai is voting today. All 6 seats in the city are voting for as many as 116 candidates. But the fight is expected to boil down to a duel between the Mahayuti alliance, consisting of the Eknath Shinde faction of the Shiv Sena, and the BJP versus the Maha Vikas Aghadi, which consists of the Uddhav Thackeray faction of the Shiv Sena, the Congress and the Sharad Pawar-led NCP. Some of the early bird voters include Anil Ambani, Tata Sons chairman N. Chandra, and Union Minister Piyush Goyal, who is also contesting his maiden Lok Sabha election from Mumbai North. All right, my colleague Yash Jain is now joining us from Pedder Road. Yash, good morning. What's the mood on ground like? Do you see enough voters on ground? It's a very, very crucial day. In fact, the campaign urging Mumbaikars to come out and vote hasn't been stronger than this time around.
Well, absolutely, Archana. So Maharashtra has, of course, been a state which has gone through a fair bit of political volatility in the recent past. And, it'll be very interesting to see as these 13 constituencies in Maharashtra, including 6 in the city of Mumbai, go for polling today. Mumbai is a very interesting place, which we've seen in the recent past. Of course, Union Minister Piyush Goyal is one of the key contenders from BJP here in Mumbai. Along with him, Ujjwal Nikam would be an interesting candidate to watch out for. Eknath Shinde's son, Shrikant Shinde, also an important candidate as far as the polling is concerned. On the other side, we have Arvind Sawant, an interesting candidate from the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray camp, who would be a contender as far as today's polling is concerned. And one thing that you pointed out to, Mumbai voter turnout has been, not something to be very proud of in the recent past. About 50% voting, slightly over 50% in 2014, in 2019. So all hopes this time would be around, how people come out in greater numbers to vote. The percentage of voter turnout increases this time around. As far as the morning voter turnout is concerned, it's not been very great as far as the polling station at Pedder Road that we are standing at. A few key VIP, voters did turn up in the morning. But since then, it's been quite dull in that sense. All hopes would be that in the second half, more people come out and vote for their candidates. The issues, of course, for the city of Mumbai have been 2 important. One is civic planning, which of course comes up every elections, and the second one is infrastructure development. Of course, the city is going through a major infrastructure development in the recent past. Continuity in that pace would be something that Mumbaikars would watch out for.
All right, thank you, Yash, for getting us that update. As you spoke about the big important names that have stepped out to vote, the RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das also reached the voting booth with his family and was one of the early voters. Yash spoke to him and he decided to just speak about the voting process. Take a look.
It's a very proud moment for every Indian. It's a moment of pride to participate in an election of 140 crore people. And if I remember correctly, about 97 crore voters. And just think about the logistics and the arrangements which go into it. The process of voting today was very smooth. And I would like to congratulate the Election Commission of India and all the officials who have been working throughout the country, and in particular in this polling booth where I had the experience, for the excellent arrangements. The logistics are humongous, and I think the arrangements are excellent. And it's really a moment of pride for every Indian to vote in this election. You wait for the next monetary policy, and this is not the place or the time to really comment on issues. I think let's focus on the elections, and I would like to take this opportunity to appeal to every Indian, to every citizen, to every voter to come and cast their vote. हिंदी में 2 शब्द कहना चाहता हूँ. ये बहुत एक गर्व महसूस होता है जब हम वोट करते हैं. 140 करोड़ की पॉपुलेशन में 97 करोड़ वोटर्स हैं, और इसमें जो लॉजिस्टिक्स इन्वॉल्व है, जो अरेंजमेंट्स इन्वॉल्व है, वो इतना आसान नहीं है. बहुत बड़ा अरेंजमेंट्स और ह्यूज स्केल में इसका अरेंजमेंट्स होता है. सो सारे वोटर्स के लिए, देश में हर एक व्यक्ति के लिए ये बहुत एक मोमेंट ऑफ प्राइड है. और मैं सबको अनुरोध करना चाहता हूं कि आप जल्दी सुबह से जल्द जाके अपने वोट डालिए.
Well, Union Minister Piyush Goyal, who's also the BJP candidate from Mumbai North, sounded confident of a better turnout than previous elections. Listen in.
जैसा माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने आग्रह किया देशवासियों से, उनके परिवारजनों से, हम सब इस उत्सव में भाग लें. हम सब मिलकर इस उत्सव को सफल बनाएं. आज के चरण में भी बड़ी संख्या में मुंबई के लोग गर्मी के बावजूद वोट देने निकले हैं. मेरा मानना है कि पिछली बार से अधिक इस बार वोटिंग होगी मुंबई में और जनता जनार्दन देश के एक उज्जवल भविष्य के लिए अपना निर्णय देगी.
I'm now joined by my colleague Sandhya Gora, who's reporting from Prabhadevi. Sandhya has extensively covered the elections from ground zero. Good morning, Sandhya. Very crucial day. Remember, these elections come in the wake of the tragic Ghatkopar incident. The city is demanding accountability. Well, these elections, of course, are about the union ministers and important politicians, but they're also about the people of the financial capital. For the benefit of our viewers, could you list out the key issues in these elections and the major contests as far as the important seats in Maharashtra are concerned?
Good morning, Archana. So let's start with the key seats here and key issues here. So for Mumbai, we have to understand that there are 13 seats where polling is underway in Maharashtra today. So 6 seats are of Lok Sabha, 6 Lok Sabha constituencies are of Mumbai. So the issues are different. Then we have Kalyan, Thane, Bhiwandi, and then we have seats from northern Maharashtra, that's Dhule, Dindori and Nashik. Let me start with Mumbai. So across all these constituencies, the key issues are going to be infrastructure development. That's that one thing which has been bothering Mumbaikars for quite some time, because monsoon is about to approach and the entire city is dug up for various construction reasons. There are about 3,000 active construction sites in the city at present. So infrastructure development is a key issue for the people of the city. Then redevelopment of old buildings, whether we talk about the South Central constituency where I am at present right now, or whether we talk about Mumbai South, there are old dilapidated or old weak structures which are in dire need of redevelopment. So that remains a challenge, because as I said, monsoon is all set to approach, and every year, without fail, unfortunately, there is one or the other building collapse incident which takes place. So redevelopment of old dilapidated structures, another big issue. Then once again, as I said, I am in Mumbai South Central constituency. So slum rehabilitation is another important aspect of these elections. Whether we talk about Dharavi rehabilitation, which is going on, Dharavi redevelopment and all the other slums. A couple of weeks ago, we spoke to Piyush Goyal, contesting from North Mumbai, and he said that he is going to come up, he and his party are going to come up with a plan for slum rehabilitation, which will ensure that those who are relocated are, they are not sent to a faraway location. They get accommodation, they get their housing in the same area, because that's the biggest challenge when it comes to slum rehabilitation. Other than that, traffic jams across the city. So transportation, a respectable way of commuting, is that one thing Mumbaikars have been demanding for quite some time. So that is going to be an important issue. Traffic jam, a solution to that problem, because all the infrastructure projects promised by the parties, some of them are already ready to use it. Public is using them, but that has not really helped with the traffic situation. Better facilities in terms of public transports. We do have local railways and we do have best buses, but the crowd, the way they get overcrowded, lead to not only accidents but major commuting snarls as well. So this is Mumbai for you. When we talk about Thane, so the twin city of Mumbai, Navi Mumbai also falls under Thane, so the issues are more or less similar. For Bhivandi, a big vote bank is of the private business owners, textile handloom owners. So better business facilities for that area, subsidized electricity and all the other things will be their issues. One pocket which I want to talk about is the Nashik-Dindori belt. So that is the onion producing belt of not just the state but also the country, and the exporters and farmers have had a tough time in the last few months because of export ban. Farmers were at the receiving end more as compared to the traders because the regular episodes of crop getting destroyed by because of one reason or the other made a dent in their financial income, and traders were affected by the export ban policies of the government. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, the government did lift the ban, so that can help the BJP and the NDA alliance, the Grand Alliance, Mahayuti Alliance in Maharashtra, in Nashik and Dindori belt to some extent. To what extent, that remains to be seen. But 13 different seats, 13, and let's quickly talk about the candidates as well. As Yash mentioned, Piyush Goyal from North Mumbai, important candidate to watch out for. Then it's Ujjwal Nikam from Mumbai North Central. He is contesting against Varsha Gaikwad of Congress. Ujjwal Nikam is a famous lawyer, famous public prosecutor. He has argued all the high-profile cases, whether it's Pallavi Purkayastha case or other terror-related cases. He got a ticket from BJP. Varsha Gaikwad is Eknath Gaikwad's daughter. She is from Congress. Remember, North Central is that constituency where BJP has benched Poonam Mahajan, the sitting MP, the two-time sitting MP. Now, other than that, for the constituency where I am right now, Archana, that is South Central, here, it's a Sena versus Sena battle. So, the Mumbai is going to be extremely important because this victory will also decide how the upcoming municipal elections, whenever that happens, whenever the court gives a go-ahead, how is that going to turn out, Archana?
All right. Thank you, Sandhya, for that comprehensive update on the elections in Mumbai. My colleague Nigel caught up with market veteran Sridhar Shivaram of Inam Holdings at the polling booth in Bandra. Take a look.
Speaking to us here on CNBC TV18, sir. Well, people may or may not talk about politics at social gatherings, and maybe it's debatable as well. But the message you would like to send out, you must vote. Yes. Debating or not, that's secondary, but you must vote.
Of course. I mean, it's one of our constitutional rights and everybody should vote. And we get this opportunity every 5 years to determine which government stays in power. And we are the largest democracy. So I'm very proud of that.
All right. Getting to the markets then, we have seen some bit of nervousness getting into the election, but that's normally what we see. It's been a good run, mind you. So how would you approach the markets from here on?
Yeah, so if I look at the markets in a block of 5 years, if you take the last 5 years, markets given roughly 14-15%, and even the previous 5 years it was 14-15% CAGR. I'd be very happy if we get another 14-15% in the current government regime. And I think the probability of that is very high because this government has done a lot of reforms. So hopefully the benefits of that we'll see in the following year. So that's how I will put it.
Yeah. All right, you make a very, very important point because the stage has been set and the benefits will start flowing in the coming years. But there have been various themes, whether it's railways, defense, capital goods. A lot of the stock prices are reflecting some part of this good news. So how would you approach these themes?
Yeah, so I think there are pockets where the market is, over exuberant, and we will see time correction or sometimes even in price correction. But what we will also see is the earnings will be strong in some of the places, as I mentioned, like capital goods. You'll have pockets where, there'll be very strong earnings growth, especially on the utility side. We are very bullish on the utility, which is the government has focused on increasing the wind and the solar part of the, utility. And in general, we are seeing government is spending almost 10-11 lakh crores of, their allocation for capital expenditure. Right. All this will benefit the sector. Finally, it's stock specific. So I would leave it at that.
All right. Sir, one question that I wanted to ask you is, the domestic money has been very good. Rock solid, you have a mature Indian investor out there, which has definitely been holding up the markets. But the problem is the FI flows have dwindled down. Do you think that they're waiting for let a stable government come in there, let us see some kind of continuity, and then they come back? And someone asked us, the markets, well, the upside could be limited as of now because we're already trading at elevated valuations. But maybe once the FIs come in, that's what could take us higher. Your comment?
Yeah. So I think I've been saying this, that emerging market as an asset class has been losing its flavor because it hasn't given any returns for 10 years. Even if you look at the 20-year returns, it is in very low single digits. As a result, we are seeing outflows from emerging markets, and India is a collateral damage. What we are seeing FI outflow is also the fact that emerging markets are seeing outflows continuously. Yes. I think only two countries have given returns, which is India and Taiwan. If you take the last 10 years, in dollar terms, 7-8% returns they have given. Most of the other markets have been very poor. So I think eventually people will look at other asset classes, maybe in Asia, ex-China sort of an asset class. But we will see some flows once we see stable government. But as of now, I think it's more because the emerging market as an asset class is losing money. And that is what is reflecting in the FI outflows.
Well, interesting, right? Because India's weightage on the MSCI Emerging Market Index itself was around 8%, I think, 4 years ago. That's moved to 18%, while China's come down from 40 to 25%. So that's telling you the kind of outperformance you've seen in the Indian markets. Since we're talking about asset classes, I can't let you go without asking you about gold. Yes. Now, that continues to be the rock-solid investment. It's given you, it's a quiet performer, so to call it. Gradually giving you those returns, and now you have the dollar play as well in there. Your view, how much of the portfolio allocation should go to gold? And at these fresh all-time highs, you don't stop, you keep allocating?
Yeah. So I've been maintaining that gold as an asset class, you should have between 5 and 10% at least. And sovereign gold bonds are the best way to invest. If I go back to 2003, I mean, that's almost 20-21 years, gold and Sensex were both roughly the same, 3,000-4,000 as an index. And today both are in the 72,000-73,000 range. So gold has matched step to step with the Sensex, giving you returns which is roughly in the 14-15% range over a very long period. If you take the last 5 years also, it has done very well. Yes. So I don't see any reason to change my view on that. It's a play on the currency, which people underestimate, that this is the only proper hedge that we have for the currency. So I'm still very bullish, and you keep adding to your gold portfolio.
Well, thanks a lot for speaking to us here, sir. And I go by that advice. I'm keeping my SIPs going, but also the sovereign gold bonds.
Right, let's now go across to Mangalam Malu, who has with him market veteran Ramesh Damani. Over to you.
Well, thanks a lot for that. Indeed, we have with us a veteran of many market cycles and many elections as well, Ramesh Damani. Thanks a lot, sir, for joining in. I'm given to understand that this is at least the 6th or 7th time that you're voting since 1989, is it?
Yes, Mangalam, I have. And as I think Abraham Lincoln said about democracy, it's of the people, by the people, for the people. Today, it's the chance of by the people, and it's actually a majestic exercise. Every time I come in, there are 90 crore people who are eligible to vote, and we peacefully elect and transfer power. I think it's an extraordinary achievement for our democracy.
Indeed, it is an extraordinary achievement for democracy, and the way our economy has been growing. You know, for the time that you've been voting, can you tell us that what's the kind of impact that these occasions have on the economy for the next 5 years? There's policy, there's continuity of policy, all of those factors.
I think market typically likes continuity of policy, and clearly they're voting this time for continuity of policy. But I have to tell you, people always ask me what are the best time to invest in India. And I always tell them 1991, when Manmohan Singh stepped up to the parliament and gave his benchmark liberalization speech, was the single best time to invest in India. The second best time to do it is tomorrow. I think the markets are fine, and 30 years have proved that we've had compounded returns in the Sensex, and there's no reason to believe the next 5 years will be different, especially if we get a continuation of economic policies.
Near-term volatility aside, what would be your key expectations from the government, the elected government?
Well, I think the agenda is full, as the Prime Minister has often said that he has a 100-day agenda, and agenda up to, in fact, 2047, where he wants India to become a major global power, economically speaking. So the agenda is there. It's not very well known, but there's some fractious issues that will come up to the Parliament. For example, what does he do about the delimitation exercise? Does the South gain more seats, the North gain more seats? That will be there. The budget will come out in a few months after the election. That will be a huge mega event. I think what I understand the Prime Minister wants to continue focus on his infrastructure, his Jal for Nal, his gas for everyone, those kind of policies. And I think there will be some changes to the direct taxes to make it much more easier for people to file taxes.
So from a stock market standpoint, from an investment standpoint, what would you think would be the best themes to play this election and thereafter all the policies that you're speaking about?
Well, if there's continuity of government, we can't say what a new government's policy would be. But if there's continuity of government, I think one thing that the market is just kind of waking up to is the fact that the incredible job the Prime Minister's office and the Prime Minister have done on the public sector units. These stocks have gone from leaders, from laggards to leaders, and from dust to diamonds, if you will. There's enormous value extraction. I don't think we give enough credit to the government for the kind of policies that they've bought by the reduction of telephone banking, leakage of corruption. Saw the PE and the market valuation of these companies soar tremendously. So I think there'll be more action, particularly on those regard. And the infrastructure company, basic housing, water, power, renewable energy, electricity, will all receive the government's attention. So I think those are good themes to look forward to for the next 5 years.
Despite the run-up, you think there is still more juice?
I think so. Typically we find that in a bull market, the pendulum swings from unloved to overloved. I think we're somewhere in between right now. So I'm hopeful for those sectors.
Right. Any risks that one should be careful about, and how do you protect your portfolio from any sort of accident, so to say?
Well, you can't do that. You have to sometimes take the tide. I think some sophisticated investors do options and futures hedging. I don't typically do that. Volatility is what will happen, and that you can deal with. Now, June 4th, when the results are opened up, we'll have to decide which new government is coming in, and based on that, the market will reassess it. Market is now expecting a continuity of government, and if that happens, the market will continue on. In fact, the Prime Minister's gone on record as saying that he expects a bonanza day on June 4th, so you guys be ready. But if there's change in government, there will be extreme volatility.
All right, we'll take that point. Thanks a lot, Mr. Damani, for always joining in. And I'll leave you with a promise that, as the Prime Minister said, on June 4th, there would be a bonanza day. You'll join us as well and speak about that.
I will try, and here's my voting.
Here's your vote. All right, with that, it's back to you guys in the studio.
Right, thank you, Mangalam, for that update. And on that note, we'll slip into a short break. More election-related updates follow on the other side. Stay tuned, we'll be back. Right, welcome back. The fifth phase of the election will also see key candidates such as Rahul Gandhi, Smriti Irani, Rajnath Singh and Omar Abdullah in the fray. Rahul Gandhi is in contention from the Congress bastion of Rae Bareli, where he's taking over from his mother Sonia Gandhi, who has represented the seat 4 times. Smriti Irani will be defending the seat of Amethi, where she defeated Congress's Rahul Gandhi in the 2019 election. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is eyeing a 4th term from Lucknow, while National Conference leader Omar Abdullah is fighting from the Baramulla seat in Jammu and Kashmir. Abhimanyu is now reporting from Amethi on the big contest where Smriti Irani is looking to win for a 2nd consecutive election. Remember, she defeated Rahul Gandhi in 2019. Abhimanyu, interesting contest there because in 25 years, for the first time, nobody from the Gandhi family is contesting from Amethi. So, KL Sharma versus Smriti Irani. What is the big update that you're tracking from Amethi?
Well, clearly there were charges of being outsiders which were being levelled at each other. Now, be it Smriti Irani earlier who had levelled the charge at Rahul Gandhi, and now Kishori Lal Sharma, the India Alliance candidate from the Congress party who is contesting from this seat, he said the same about Smriti Irani. However, both of them have spent ample time on this seat. Smriti Irani has been active in this Lok Sabha constituency since 2014, ever since she lost to Rahul Gandhi in the 2014 elections. And Kishori Lal Sharma, a close confidant of the Gandhi family, has also worked here for decades. So clearly both the contestants out here have spent a lot of time in the constituency. However, Smriti Irani is confident of converting this into a 2nd term. And Kishori Lal Sharma is trying for an upset, is trying to defeat Smriti Irani. However, the BJP seems confident as far as its prospects are concerned, even in neighbouring Rae Bareli for that matter, where Rahul Gandhi is contesting this time around. Now, there's something common between both the seats. Amethi Lok Sabha seat has witnessed 4 people from the Gandhi family who have represented Amethi before, and the same goes for Rae Bareli, which has witnessed 3 people from the Gandhi family who have represented this constituency. So for the first time, no one from the Gandhi family is in the fray in Amethi. However, Rahul Gandhi is going to try his luck in the Rae Bareli Lok Sabha constituency, where there are candidates from the BJP as well as the BSP who are trying to upstage him. It remains to be seen how the situation is going to pan out, since there is an even number of MLAs who are distributed across assembly constituencies in both the Lok Sabha seats. Both the BJP as well as the Samajwadi Party have MLAs in both these Lok Sabha seats, and they would be trying to convert this into a Lok Sabha victory.
All right, thank you, Abhimanyu, for that update. So, big day in Uttar Pradesh as well. Moving on to some other election-related news, the administration in the Eta village of the Farrukhabad constituency of Uttar Pradesh has lodged an FIR and arrested the son of a local leader after he shot a video showing himself voting 8 times at a polling booth in Farrukhabad. The video, which had multiple takes, shows the man casting his vote 8 times for the BJP while flashing multiple identity cards. The video was also picked up and retweeted by India Alliance leaders Rahul Gandhi and Akhilesh Yadav. The staff present at the polling station at the time of the incident have been suspended, while the Election Commission have also recommended re-polling in the station concerned. And let's now focus on the big global story. A helicopter carrying the Iran president and senior officials has crashed in East Azerbaijan. And the latest we are picking up from various news reports, they say that President Raisi's helicopter was completely burned in the crash and all passengers are feared dead. CNBC's Dan Murphy gets us the latest on this crash.
Well, Iranian state media now say that no survivors have been found after this helicopter crash carrying Iran's president that obviously crashed late yesterday. Iranian state media reporting earlier today that rescuers have now located that crash site of the helicopter that was carrying the president. Of course, also on board the helicopter was his foreign minister and their entourage as well. State media saying that no survivors have been found. Of course, details are still coming to light. Daylight now will reveal the full extent of what has happened here, but we are expecting to hear more information about the situation in the coming minutes and hours. Of course, the concern here is for the loss of the president, but also Iran's foreign minister who was traveling with the president. I was one of the last journalists to interview the foreign minister. We spoke in January of this year, and it of course raises a lot of questions about how and why these senior leaders in the government, as well as East Azerbaijan's governor, were cleared to travel in the same aircraft in these conditions. We understand the president and officials were returning from a region on the Azerbaijan border in the northwest of Iran, about 600 kilometers from the capital, Tehran. Raisi was there to inaugurate a joint dam project alongside the Azerbaijan president, and his helicopter was traveling in convoy when this incident occurred. So the reason we haven't had significant information so far has been because there is, of course, very harsh weather on the ground. There's been heavy fog. Very difficult terrain have made it extremely challenging to reach the crash site and attempt a rescue here. State media also saying that at least 40 rescue teams had been deployed to that site. They've been using drones and search dogs to try and locate the helicopter, and as many as 8 ambulances were also sent to the crash site as well. But obviously for the condition of the Iranian president, this is the absolute worst possible outcome here, with state media confirming that there have been no survivors after this helicopter crash involving the Iranian president, his foreign minister and his entourage.
Right, we'll continue to track those updates coming in from Iran as well. That's a wrap on this special broadcast. Thank you for watching. News and updates continue on CNBC TV18.